first ever episode sponsored by White Claw.
Yeah.
We're doing
Give us a sponsorship. Okay, cheers.
Salud.
We finally got here after talking about it for God knows how long.
Well, we'll first start. We'll introduce each other.
Okay, let's do that.
This is Amy.
Or you're, yeah. All right. Okay.
Amy, go ahead and start us off. Tell us
Okay.
who you are, how did it start, what happened.
Yeah. Okay. Hi, I'm Amy. I have been in the fitness world for 11 years, I think. I have a bachelor's in psychology, and I always thought I would do something with that. I still love psychology, but I graduated and I just had a lot going on in my life. My mom had just died and I was just kind of lost, and I had dropped out of college twice before that. And because of that, I didn't feel super confident about going back to school right away and going to grad school. And when I lived in New York, in order to have any type of career in psychology, you needed to have a master's degree, if not a PhD. So I was like, okay, well, I'll go back to school at some point, but I'm not going to do it right now. So I took a hiatus, and on a whim, the summer prior, I had gotten a personal training certification, just taken the test and been like, this is a fun thing. I'm really into fitness. I run a lot. Like, let's do it. And so when I graduated from college, I had this personal training certification, and I immediately, a friend of mine reached out and was like, hey, I'm the sales director at LA Fitness. You're super fit. Why don't you come in for an interview as a personal trainer? And I was like, cool, great. Like, this is a great first job out of college until I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do. So I go in, interview with her, get the job basically on the spot, start training. I love it. I really love people, and I like learning about people. And so I just really loved building relationships in that way. And I was like, oh, this is actually really cool. I wasn't making a lot of money for sure, because, you know, when you work for a big box gym, you don't make a lot of money. You take home half of, you know, the session rate, which isn't very much, you know? So, and then 8 months later, moved to Colorado because my ex-husband got a job out here, and came out here, continued to personal train because I didn't have a job going in. Like, it was literally like we had to buy out our lease and move out here like very quickly. And so I didn't have a job lined up, and I started personal training again out here. And then long story short, about a year into doing that, I decided I wanted to go off on my own and have autonomy over my clients, because I have this, you know, big background in running. And when you personal train at big box gyms, you're mostly training like the generic weight loss client. You're not training a sports performance client. You're not training athletes, you know, and I wanted to do that. And I kind of used myself as a guinea pig on a lot of my exercises and workouts. And yeah, so I went off on my own and started to niche down into the sports performance and into like the run coaching side of things. And now I rent space at Commit Fitness that Jairo owns with Robbie. And we have a great community, great family, and yeah, that's where we are.
Awesome.
That was a long intro, sorry.
Oh, it's appropriate.
Okay.
Definitely appropriate.
Yeah. Perfect.
All right, Robbie, you want to go
Okay,
next?
yeah, I'm Robbie. I rent space with, from Jairo. I Commit to Fitness. I mean, it's been not as long. I started in 19 on the other side, the business side of it, trying to help people.
And how did you get into, because what did you do before that? Because
Yeah,
I love this story.
Yeah, so I worked at Casa Bonita for 21 years. Fitness has always been a part of, you know, being active. It's always been there, but I didn't get serious about it until I got dumped. So I'm like a normal gym story.
Really?
Yeah,
that was the catalyst?
That was the catalyst. I got dumped, and I just woke up the next morning and said, I'm going to be different. I'm going to be a different person. So I really just started, I got into running first. Running morphed into the gym.
Which I just learned about you, the running
Yes.
side of it. I didn't know that. I love it.
I thought that was fitness, which is running. And I didn't realize.
Guys, it's a great part of fitness.
It is a very important part of it. I think running is great. The next level was lifting. So getting into resistance training, weight training, that was a jump too, because I was treadmills to jump rope to push-ups to eventually hitting the bar. I got into yoga sculpt, loved yoga sculpt. From there, I got certified to teach yoga sculpt, and that's what created the journey. COVID shut everything down, the restaurant where I was at, so I didn't have a job, and I thought, well, I know what I can do. I can round up probably 15, 20 people and charge them a couple $100 and, do an 8-week fitness program. And that was my first endeavor. So once things started opening back up, I knew I needed to go to a place, and we got in touch with Jairo and Miguel and wanted to do, and so Miguel was the original, that's who Jairo partnered up with at the beginning, and then Miguel moved, and I'll let you get into that, obviously, that's your story, but we wanted to put an event together, so we contacted those guys and showed up at the event at the gym. Yeah.
It was the first time I met you.
Yeah, and when I came in, I just knew that this is the spot. I just knew it was the spot, just the community, how awesome everybody was, the support, watching the gym grow, just seeing that happen. So I knew I wanted to be involved there. The business model I believe in, is instead of taking a cut of every client, is just pay rent.
Yeah.
So we
absolutely.
pay rent to Jairo, and
you can do whatever you want with your
clients. And we kind of do what we want to with our clients there. And so it's just been taking off since then. Yeah, I've had a lot of good opportunities and very fortunate to go into 2025 with you two.
I know.
We're going to hit that next level.
2025. Oh my God.
We're going to crush it.
Been there since 2020. That's crazy.
That's wild.
Yeah.
It's
November 2020. Oh. Yeah, because COVID kicked me out of my last gym.
Oh, yeah.
And then I worked outside for months. Because a lot of my clients didn't feel comfortable going back into like an indoor space. Yeah. And my last gym just didn't have the greatest, in my opinion, COVID protocols. So a lot of people didn't feel comfortable going back there. And then that's how I just found you guys on Google, which is wild.
It's nuts, isn't it? Just how. Well, what about you? What's yours? Let's hear it.
Well, let's see, the quick one. I got into fitness in high school in 2008. I was a skater. I was a punk rock skateboarder. I thought working out was for people that were just trying to get pussy, get laid, and look cool. But I was a dirty skater. I touched the weights, and literally from that first session that I touched the weights, it was something happened with my body, the way I felt. I loved it. So I remember I broke up with my girlfriend that summer, and I went to Sears and bought me a bench press and a curl bar.
Oh my God. After the breakup?
Yeah. And I got a bench press and a curl bar, and I put it in my dad's basement, and I was benching and curling every single day for months.
Just those two things?
That's all I knew, but it felt great.
Yeah.
And then I thought eating healthy was starving yourself. So I starved myself. So, for months. So nothing happened. And I was like, man, there's got to be something else to this bullshit. So I started reading, and once I opened the books and the literature, it's like, oh my God, there's a whole world behind this. Yeah. So I started getting on the forums, the bodybuilding forums, the bodybuilding.com, if you remember that. Bunch of stuff. So I did everything wrong for many years until I got certified in 2014. That's when I started taking it more serious. But I still didn't do anything with my NASM because I was a mechanic at the time, so it was letting go of my career. It was a scary jump. So from 2014 to 2017, I was still a mechanic. I was still doing side jobs and other shit. It's until 2017 that I worked for a big box gym, and I got hired as a personal training manager. And it was
off the bat?
Yeah.
Wow.
It was not what I wanted. It was a brand new gym. It was just opening by my house. It wasn't the experience of fitness that I wanted, selling programs and having people sign the dotted line with the outrageous prices and pretty much tricking people into signing, because that was my paycheck. I was commission based. So after doing that for a few months, I told the manager, I don't want to be a salesman. I want to be the guy training. So I was like, all right, cool, whatever. So funny thing is, when Miguel came in, I convinced him to take my job. And I told him it was going to be great.
Shut up. I didn't know that.
Yeah, because Miguel got hired. Miguel went to the Arvada gym where now is a church. That was an Aspire Fitness. It's now a church. Across, next to McDonald's.
Oh, that one?
That church was Aspire Fitness.
Okay.
And Miguel went there for a job, and they told him, we don't need trainers here, but go to the new location in Westminster. So he went there, and when he came in as a trainer, and I convinced him, man, take my job, man. It's I want to be a trainer, and this is bad. So he took my job as a manager, and he fucking hated it.
Yeah, I bet he did.
So,
he's probably so mad at you.
I know, he hated it. So it's like, hey, at least I don't have to do it. So anyways, I knew training people was what I wanted to do. But like you said earlier, I was making $7 a session.
Yeah, insane.
And sessions are 30 minutes. You can't do shit with 30 minutes.
Also that. I forgot that. LA Fitness was the same way, 30 minutes.
And I counted my clients in a span of a year. At one point I had 65 clients. I probably had 100 in the year that I was there, but at one point I had 65 clients.
And you weren't making any
30
money.
minutes. Can't do anything, dude. Hi, bye, 2 push-ups, bye. Yeah, and the ones that show up late, you shut it. Look, I got 10 minutes with you. Anyway, so that was horrible.
Can't even put them through a warm-up or a cool-down, right?
It's just not the way I wanted to do things, so I ended up partnering up and doing this, opening Commit to Fitness with Miguel, and we could do whatever we wanted, how we wanted it. But yeah, to build a business, that was a different story. But I love fitness because of what it had done with me to my life. I think it made me grow up in a way that I wouldn't have if I didn't have the discipline of fitness, because you got a goal now, and if you want to achieve that goal, you gotta sacrifice things, and you gotta do a certain set of things to get there, and you can apply that everywhere, relationship, money, whatever. But it was a very nice way to feel something like I'm making something happen, and I can help that guy and that girl. I can help them make something. So that's why I fell in love with it. And then the business partner came after, because when I started, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. And it just, but if money comes my way, cool. If it doesn't, then cool. I'll keep doing this thing. I've never been very money driven or materialistic. So that didn't come till later with maturity in life and having kids. And it's like, oh shit, I got bills I have to pay. So, like, actually, I can't always do this for fun only. So anyway, that's how we ended up here. And then I had the opportunity last year to take over the gym and be able to buy out my partner and kind of do the thing now that I wanted to do in this last year. So and then you guys have come along the way and enhanced what we had going on, enhanced it and make it even better, which I'm super grateful for all of you guys that come in and put your own touch of your style and your culture. And probably 80%, 90% of the reviews that we get on Google and on ClassPass, they mention you guys personally.
Yeah. Oh, awesome.
Robbie greeted me at the door. I felt very warm. It felt very welcoming. Everybody was nice. I'm not there 24/7. I don't do that. You guys do that. So it's a lot of what you guys do there that makes Commit to Fitness is what it is.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know me, and I'm okay with that. They don't know who I am, but that's cool. But they know you guys. They know you guys, and that's what matters. And they feel good, and they bring more people. I feel like good people bring people.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. I think so much of that gym's membership comes from just word of mouth and.
Oh yeah, I'll tell you one thing I learned from Commit to Fitness, from you. I'd never done my entire life ever, is saying good morning. That wasn't in my vocabulary. I just never said good morning to people. I'd say, hey, what's up? How you doing? But I never said good morning until Commit to Fitness. And I say good morning.
Even at 7 p.m. at night.
Yeah. I say every person walks in the doors, good morning. Everybody, good morning. And it's just something that's just interesting.
I think I got that in transition from being a personal trainer and a mechanic. There was a period of my life when I was a freelance mechanic. I was repairing things in a garage, in some dude's garage.
Wow.
And I was working on an auto part, advanced auto parts. And they drilled it into me. It was corporate policy. Every time you pick up the phone, you have to say,
good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for calling Advanced Auto Parts and Batteries. My name is Jairo. How can I help you? So it was funny, and we fucked around with the way we said it. And everybody that walked through the door, good morning, can I help you find something? Every single person. So I don't know, it just got drilled into me. So when somebody comes in the gym, I try to stop what I'm doing to at least acknowledge.
Yeah, you're really good about that. You both are good about that.
No. I think he's better. I think he's way better than me. He knows everybody's name. He knows details. And
I know, it's wild.
And I learned that from Casa Bonita, that we had a manager there, and he wanted us to know. So at Casa Bonita, most of the employees there were teenagers. That was the majority of them. I mean, the food service had to be over 18, but all the entertainers, the kids that were taking you to your tables,
even the entertainers were.
Oh yeah, they were all kids. The divers were older, but almost everybody, they were all teenagers. And his name was Pierre Osby. He was the assistant GM there, and he beat that into us. Was like, you need to know their names, what school they go to, know about their parents. Just know things you can talk to them about. So I try to. That's where I learned that from. Just try to learn about people, and then you create connections as you go.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what. Since I started, I looked at it because I put everybody's info on my phone.
I know.
I record everything. I put it in my phone. Back in May, so I did a podcast in May with Johnny that used to come to the gym. I was on one of his shows, and I think at the time I was approaching 5,000 contacts in my phone, and I'm at 5,700 now. So since May, I've added another 700 people in my phone. Yeah, which is wild. And I have
had multiple people at the gym say to me, "How does he remember everyone's name?"
Yeah. So
I've met him one time. He remembers my name every time I come in. I'm like, he's got a gift.
Yeah. Well, I cheat. I write their name. When I meet you, I put your name in the phone. The other thing, Jairo taught me is because Jairo looks their names up. So I do the same thing when people walk in. If I can't, if something's wrong, I just run back to the computer.
Right.
Just go look and see they clock, who clocked in, and then I go up and say, hey Dante, or hey Lupe, whoever it is, go say hi to him, and then I'll tell you what, there are some members that come in that know my name that I'm like, hey Robbie, how's it going? I'm like, oh, it's good to see you. I gotta go to the bathroom real quick, and I run to the office, looking, hey Jim, glad to see you. Yeah, sorry, I did. You go fart in the other room.
Just so many people. Yeah.
Whatever it was, but it's. I mean, if you look at it, the things that give the gym personality is growth. That's number one. That's what everybody notices, is the growth of the gym. Because I remember the first time I went in there was Lupita was running the step class, and I worked with Lupita at Casa Bonita. And Lupita kept telling me to come in. She's like, you need to come in there. And I was at 24-hour fitness lifting. And I was like, there's no reason for me to go to commit to fitness. I already got a gym membership. And what was weird is I was lifting at that gym with that Jack dude, the dude that was super jacked, that Marin was always talking about, Joe, I think was his name.
Yes,
Joe Jr.
Joe.
And that dude had an incredible, and what's nuts is he had an incredible physique, but I never noticed it at 24-hour fitness. When I saw him at 24-hour fitness, he just seemed like a regular dude. And he was very friendly, and I almost didn't recognize him when I saw him at Commit to Fitness, because he was so incredibly jacked. I mean, just chiseled. And, but I remember the first time, Lupita told me to come in, and I went in there, and, it was, the squat racks were on the other side. It was all white and green. I think it was turf. It was all turf. There was a pegboard wall.
Turf,
And you guys definitely had way more turf at the beginning, for sure.
Yeah, but then going in the next time was like, it's completely different. And then the next time, and it's always, so that's the number one thing about the gym, is people want to feel like that they contribute. And when they see that they're putting their money in and they're paying a membership, and it's not going and padding a CEO's checkbook.
That part. Ooh, so true.
Yeah, it's like you're going in there and you're seeing the money that you're putting into making something good for the community.
Yeah.
That's number one charm. And then number two is just how everybody knows each other, and there's just no, because you go to Vasa, you go to 24-hour fitness, you go to any other gym, Shoes. It's anonymous, and women feel, and I don't want to sound sexist, but women, I know they do, women feel objectified. You feel that you are in a fishbowl, and every dude in there is just staring at you.
So true.
And
they are. The other thing is they are.
They are.
It's not just a feeling.
But it's unchecked in those places.
Yes, absolutely.
It's unchecked because there's no there's a person that stands at the front desk, nobody's talking to each other, everybody's got headphones on. Us, we know everybody, and a creep walks in the door, they immediately know I'm not welcome here. Not because we make them feel unwelcome, but they want to be in a dark corner with, no communication. You're walking into a place where it's like, we're all happy, high-fiving each other, dapping everybody up. It's impossible for you to sit in the back and stare. So we've only had, since I've been at the gym, we've only had one person we've had to chase out the door that I've been there for. One guy we had to chase out the door and say like, hey, you're not welcome here. Other than that, they kind of just weed themselves out because I know.
I don't disagree.
And I always say this, I tell everybody about Jairo because women talk and we assume that we know what you guys are talking about. Men talk too. And there's like that locker room conversation talk. And it's something that I appreciate about Jairo because we don't have those conversations. We've never had those conversations. So when we talk about things, it's about, we bullshit or whatever, but we're not.
Oh, you mean like talking about with other women in the
never,
yeah.
Jairo's never once been like, oh shit, look at that fucking girl over there. Right. It's never happened. And that, because I've been in parties. You've been at parties like outside the gym where everybody's hanging out. You have one dude that's like, oh, look at that girl over there. It reverberates through the room.
Yeah.
So even though people can't hear it, it affects the energy, the vibrations of what happens in the room. And the energy at Connected Fitness is infectious. It's not, that stuff doesn't happen there,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I feel as a woman in the fitness space, I've dealt with that quite a bit, which, Robbie and I always tell the story about like when Robbie and I first met, like he was, as you guys can probably tell, he's very gregarious and like, you're very friendly. And as a woman in the fitness space, that often means that you're getting hit on, and I shut him down.
But it's a lot of women do that.
Yeah.
A lot of women do it.
But that has been my experience. It's been my experience, unfortunately, in a lot of the small gyms that I've worked in. Yeah. I've felt by, even the owners have made me feel that way. And even married owners, and so it's just, I didn't know that if this place was going to be different, and it is. I mean, fortunately it is, but it's again, like as a woman in the fitness space, it's the experience I've had, and fortunately I don't have that experience at Commit to Fitness. And I think across the board, women feel safe in our space, and I think that that's a huge deal.
Look how many women go.
Yeah.
There's days where it's like me and it's Jairo and I in the morning, and there's
12 women.
It's just women, you're just looking around your women, and I'm always very proud of that because it's like it's a testament to the culture that women come in and it's like we're not fucking creeps. Yeah. I've always heard about it too. I've talked to girls and they'll go get a personal trainer and they're like, yeah, he's gonna ask you out at some point. He's gonna ask you out at some point during the.
Or he's gonna just make you feel uncomfortable because as women and men too, we pick up on the vibes. Like we know. And if you're feeling it, like you're gonna get to a point where you're like, if you're into your personal trainer, cool. But if you're not want to go.
Yeah, you're waiting for the.
You're waiting for the other shoe to drop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a very good culture there. That's a testament to you, 100%.
Well, I know I wouldn't take all the. You guys came in and you guys already had those values, so it's not like I said the rules. You have to do that. You guys already did it. Something that I learned a long time ago from a book from Dave Logan, Tribal Leadership. He talks about creating triads. What is a triad? I know that you worked at Casa Bonita. And I know Sally that just started, and just chatting, she told me that she just took her kids there. Oh, you have something in common. I'm gonna tell Sally, hey, this is Robbie. He used to work there, and remove myself from the conversation. I'm not important in that conversation. It's now you guys have, now she knows you, and you know her. And I've made it a point to do this with all of our members. Because I learned something from my clients. Oh, you used to live in Florida? Where? This town. Oh shit. That guy right there just is moving there next month. Yo, come here. And I partner them up and I walk away. Or they're both in the same career. They're both in the same field. They both went to the same school. The more information I know from each of them, I can bring them together.
Yeah.
And I'm out.
And it builds community.
It builds community. It builds itself.
Familiarity.
Because now, next time they come in, they know who Robbie is. They don't know. They don't just see a funny Greek god walking around. They now know, it's like, oh, Robbie has kids, and his kids are my kids' age, and he does this, and I do that too, and it's just now you're building stronger bonds instead of like there's some fucking guy there. So I've made the point to get to know my clients really good, and you could that one guy too, that's that too,
and they probably appreciate that you are remembering these like facts about them, right?
I mean, to photography, my client does photography. Let's partner up because you guys have more things in common to talk about.
Cool.
Boom, and I remove myself, and now every time they run into each other, they say hi. And now they know each other, and now they might add each other on social media. And if we do an event like one we're doing next week, they might have some drinks together and talk. It's like you don't know what's gonna happen from there.
Yeah.
So it's now that I've done that for many years, try to put people together and just see what happens. You're a teacher? Oh, my client's a teacher too. Hey, come here. He's a teacher too. I'm not a teacher. I don't know shit about it. I remove myself out, and now they talk and they exchange information, and that's it. Now you got a partnership there.
Yeah.
What's gonna come out of it? I don't know. But now they know that some other people with its common interests go to the gym.
Yeah.
And it just like what happened. How long have you known Molly and Cassidy? Years.
Yeah.
You never talked to them.
Yeah.
Until something common popped up.
I mean, we'd say hi.
Yeah, but that's it.
Chat in passing. But yes, you're right. Not a full conversation.
Now, and those are the little things that really.
That's a good point. Yeah.
So it happens every day. But when you purposely gear it towards that, I don't know. I like to get people together, and not through me. It's like I'm not important in that conversation. You guys started talking.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's a lot of people walking around past each other that have so much in common, they just don't know it. And if I can be that bridge, connect them, like boom. Yeah. And people come and go at the gym all the time. People cancel every day, whatever. But now I know. I try to add everybody on social media, and I think you do the same. But now I know it's like, oh, this one guy does this one guy does that, and he did this, and he talked. And I try to learn something from everybody. Everybody has something to teach you, I think, whether it's what not to do or what to do. It's like sometimes you walk away from a conversation like, man, that guy's fucking crazy. You never want to be like that guy, but he was entertaining. So I know if we get into the topic of crazy clients, this can be for hours.
We got to do one of those episodes for sure.
the craziest clients.
You talk about my older male client.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
I know exactly what it is.
Favorite person in the world.
As far as for me, building community was just bringing people together like that and having common interests, and then let them do whatever they're going to do.
Yeah, the other thing that you do a really good job of is the events. It's like pretty much every month there's an event.
Oh man, I want to do
more.
I want to do way more.
Yeah, and I know, for me, I've never been at a gym that does that.
Yeah, I love the fact that we've been doing that lately.
Let alone almost any, the successful organizations do that. They, bring people together. I know, and I love core power yoga. Like, I do love it. It's a big part of my life. But we're doing a holiday party in January. I think our last one was like 2 years ago.
Really?
Yeah. So for us to create events, it's not through leadership. It's through, the teachers and the members that are doing it. But you do a good job of keeping us pretty much at least once a month. At least we're gonna have something that brings us together outside of it. Yeah. I'll tell you another thing too that you notice is the headphone use and earbuds. I've never been, anywhere you go. Commit to Fitness is the first place I've been at where I quit wearing headphones. I just don't.
Me too. I don't do it either.
I don't wear them at all.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of it is because it's a leadership, so you want to be available because.
Yeah.
But even like when I lift, when it's my time, I don't put headphones in.
Yeah, same.
You know, I leave them out, and it's because I want to. It's breeding the opportunity for people to come and talk to you. So you look around, most of the people in there. I mean, there are people that have headphones and their earbuds in, but it's a lot less than you go to any other gym.
Yeah, I would agree.
A lot less, and people are talking. Another thing too, I've learned more from the members at Commit to Fitness than I have through any of my certifications, I think. To be honest, and I feel like the certification's more taught what not to do and like legally what you're allowed to say and what you're not allowed to say. I did learn stuff, obviously, but just like Ryan, Andy, I mean Nathan, doing the calisthenics, the muscle ups, just talking to those guys, I've learned more from them than I have, you know, anywhere else in my opinion. And that's just members. That's not even like trainers, you know.
Yeah.
Well,
Absolutely.
the people have their own specialties and they've devoted so much time and to master what they do. I'm not gonna go through the years of doing that. But if I can exchange some information and get something out of that, I can apply it to what I'm doing.
Yeah, absolutely.